Now, welcome back to the programme. Text and WhatsApp 083 33 975. You can call Audrey on 051 846 123. I want to thank Shauna for her interview. Frankie McAvoy. Frankie, you heard Shauna there?
I did. Very, very disturbing interview, very heart-wrenching. But that's the health service. What can you do?
Puts a lot of things in perspective, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
It really does, particularly when it comes to mental health. We're going to change the subject in a minute. We're going to be talking about Gay Byrne and talk about some happy memories in a second. Just a couple of texts, and before I go on, I want to wish Neil Goff of this station a very happy 50th birthday from Larry and all his friends in Tramore Boxing Club, and from everybody in the station here, and family and friends have been texting in. Neil Goff, happy 50th birthday. Extremely brave young lady, 19 years of age, so brave to talk about it. Well done, Shauna. I can't believe this is going on in Ireland in 2019. What an amazing and extremely brave young woman. The Health Service Executive really needs to listen and change how care is delivered. It's appalling. That's from Trish in Tramore. I'm a mother of a 19-year-old girl. I can't imagine the trauma poor Shauna has suffered. This is a dreadful story. Another person said, it sounds like the Dark Ages, horrendous. Another person says, that girl's ordeal is like something Dickens might have written about 200 years ago. New nurses are not given a contract. Tell Mary to work on that, from Bridget. A number of people saying, obviously Mary is not in the government, but she's facilitating the government, or her party is, and could be doing more about this. As I said, Shauna contacted Mary last night. It wasn't... I don't like mixing politics up with this, and the fact that I had Mary in was, I suppose, strong for Shauna to have her beside her, because she needed somebody to be beside her in that respect. Not necessarily, but that's what was said. Now, Gay Byrne, Frankie McAvoy, tell us about Gay Byrne. Tell us about you love the old motorbikes.
I do, yeah. I've been a biker on and off, Damien, for over 40 years. And back in 2004, I got involved with Crumlin Hospital and did a number of trips around Ireland for the hospital. And every year we'd have a celebrity with us, like we had PJ Gallagher, Alan Short, Catherine Thompson. But in 2006, we actually had Gay Byrne. And I remember arriving up in Dublin around 12 o'clock that Friday evening, and Gay was there, and he had the bike. He actually drove a Honda DeVille, which was the very bike that I drove myself. And of course, Gay being Gay, the cameras were there and the photographers were there, and they're all getting their photographs. So what we did then was Gay left Dublin heading to Donegal with over 100 bikers behind him, all for Crumlin Hospital, and we headed up to Donegal. One of the nicest weekends of that particular summer. And a story I'd like to tell you was, when we arrived in Donegal, of course the camera crew were there waiting for Gay, and Gay had all the heavy gear on him and took off the helmet, and you could see it in his face, the pressure the man was under, the heat and everything. So he sat down, and no sooner had he sat down and the camera crew came along, and RTE were doing a documentary about the bike run, and the kind of weather that was in it, I decided to go over to the shop and get a bottle of 7-Up. And as I passed Gay, I could see the pressure in his face, and he just really didn't want to be doing an interview. He just wanted to just left alone for the couple of minutes.
Yeah.
So I went into the shop anyway, and I kind of thought about him, and instead of getting the one bottle of 7-Up, I got 2 bottles. And as I passed back, I handed Gay one of the bottles of 7-Up. Oh, jeez, he said, the blessings of God on you. I never seen a man so happy to get a bottle of 7-Up. He was delighted with it. But a lovely man, and we travelled down to Slane Castle, and got a group photograph taken in front of Slane Castle. And the one thing that I remember, Lord Mount Charles was there, and after we got the photograph taken, all this now was being filmed for RTE. And Gay made a throwaway remark. He said, our next destination, he said, will make this place look like a semi-detached. Well, if you just saw the look on Lord Mount Charles, if looks could kill. But you know, Gay, that's the way he was, very direct. And he just said, what was in his mind, and but what the route was, Damien, we went from Dublin to Donegal, an overnight stay, down through Galway, an overnight stay in Limerick. We actually met the late Ronnie Drew. He actually was doing a concert in Limerick at the time, and we met up with him. Stayed in Limerick, and from there then we travelled on to Waterford and an overnight stay in Waterford before heading back to the hospital. But a funny incident, when we arrived at the Tower Hotel for the overnight stay, we had 100 motorbikes. Some of the bikes were parked in front of the hotel, some at the side and some at the back. But the 2 cops that were with us for the whole journey actually drove their motorbikes up the steps of the Tower Hotel, through the reception, and parked the bikes up in the ballroom of the hotel. And they actually left the bikes there overnight. That was one of the memories that I had from it.
Fabulous.
But he was
memories.
a lovely man, easy to get on with. And, I actually got a photograph taken with him, and he was just down to earth kind of a guy, always said hello to people and no airs or graces about him. And you took him as he was, But some great memories of him.
Frankie, and other people have great memories as well. Listen, thanks so much for coming in to us. I know
very
it's
welcome.
Short notice again because of the situation this morning. We had to push you back a little bit.
That's understandable.
Apologies for that. But what we're going to do is we're going to play now the interview with Gay and you too. This was regarding the bike. This is the interview with Gay on the Late Late Show.
Just on that subject, Damien, when the bike was actually presented to Gay on the Late Show, he didn't actually take the bike.
That's right.
The bike was bought by a motorbike shop in Dublin. Yeah. In fact, I travelled to Dublin to see the motorbike in the front window. But the money that he got for the bike, he actually donated that to Crumlin Hospital. That's the kind of man that he was.
Frankie, thank you so much for joining us.
Very welcome,
this morning.
Damien.
Thank you so much for coming in, and I really appreciate it. Here is Gay Byrne talking to you too.
Ladies and gentlemen, down through the years we've had introduced many groups, many performers who have gone on to greater things, as I said earlier on. And one of the most outstanding are record breakers by any standards worldwide. And I'm pleased to welcome just 2 old friends who wanted to come along and join us tonight on the Late Late Show. Would you welcome, please, Larry and Bono? Here we are. Oh, he's coming in on his motorbike. Coming in on the motorbike. There you are. Ho, 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 ho. Well done. Wow. How's about that then? Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, Larry. What are you at, Larry?
How are you doing?
Sake. How are you doing? Is that the new one?
That's the new one.
That's the new one.
Brand new.
How long have you got that one?
About 3 hours.
3 hours?
Yeah.
3 hours, really? Yeah. That is beautiful.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
Do you remember about 3-4 years ago at Sutton Cross?
Yes.
I was there. I was
Yes.
on my Harley.
Yes.
Looking very cool.
Yes. Very
And
cool.
this car pulled up beside me. It was a very battered limousine. All right, and
Paul won't be pleased about
no,
that.
it was a bit shady, but
Yes.
the window went down and you stuck your head out and you said, "Excuse me, what sort of a bike is that?" And I turned around and I saw you and said, "It's a motorbike, guy." And you said, "I love those bikes." I said, "You know what? When I was a young fella, I used to ride around all the time. You had Kathleen in the sidecar and it was great." Well,
No, not quite that. No, not quite that, but I won't.
so, Gay, this is from us to you, as a gift. From you to you.
Now, still a lot of texts and messages coming through regarding Shauna. We're going to come to those in a little while. First, we've got Stan and Kim in studio. Good morning, folks.
Morning.
How are you doing? Very good. So we have Stan Bergen and your daughter Kim. And Kim, you're 15, are you?
Yep.
Stan and Kim. And tell us, you have cystic fibrosis, Kim.
That's right.
What is cystic fibrosis for people that don't know, or how does it affect you?
Well, it's a genetic disease that affects the lungs and the pancreas and liver and kidneys. Basically, all the stuff in the stomach, and the lungs, and just bringing up a lot of mucus and all that kind of stuff. And that's really it. That's just it.
And you like doing sports. You do a bit of martial arts.
Yeah, boxing and a bit of martial arts.
And how does the martial arts help you, for example? How does doing sports help you?
It gets the lungs, anything that's clogged down there brings it up, and gets the heart going as well. So, but martial arts, it keeps anyone in general fit, but especially for CF patients, exercise is one of the very, you have to keep on top of the exercise. If you don't, you're really at nothing if you're not doing exercise,
Stan, is she handy at the old martial arts?
I see her fight there a couple of months back. John Welsh down in Cork, we went down for the day, and I closed my eyes because I didn't know what to expect, but she went to 3 rounds, which was very good, with a girl who from Tipperary who was had more experience than her and was after having more fights. It was Kim's first fight, so she didn't win it, but she performed very well.
Very good, very good. Yeah. How proud are you of her?
Oh, really delighted, because I'm delighted that she joined John Welch's club, because it's Muay Thai, and look, there's great girls in there. They have a world champion there, and there's great activity out there, and they're all the time going and buzzing around. So, it's great for young kids to join these.
You had an amazing weekend as part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation and Make-A-Wish. And again, sometimes we hear about people fundraising for Make-A-Wish and we don't necessarily hear the after stories. But this is just wonderful. Tell us what happened.
Well, on Thursday we flew out to Manchester to the Katie Taylor fight on Saturday, and we got the third row from the ringside seats on Saturday night, and went to see Katie Taylor fight. And I have to say, it was one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life, in my life. Yeah. It was the dream come true for me. So it didn't make a difference where I got to meet. I just wanted to see her fight, and hopefully she won it. And it was a tough fight, but she won it by about 3 rounds. We knew, but Daddy wouldn't be the best on box, but for off box we knew. But she won about 3 rounds, and it was a very tough fight. Very tough, but we knew that she had it.
And tell us about the buzz.
Oh, there was about 25,000 or something like that there, and it was just unbelievable. Even the ring walk, it was just, the security had to kind of push everybody back. They were just everybody was trying to get in on it. So
why do you love her so much?
She's just an inspiration for any girl in boxing, and she's brought the whole thing to life now. Women's boxing wasn't a thing, and as she said in her documentary, she had to tie her hair up and be like a boy years ago in the ring, But look, for our own coach today, Ross, he's one of the best going. He wouldn't have got, only for him, he probably wouldn't be a pro boxer now,
Stan, an amazing weekend.
It was very, very good. I must say a big thank you to the Make-A-Wish team here in Waterford. Trish Quinn and her sidekick, as we'd say, Tara, they were really so good. Kim had applied for Make-A-Wish. Any child with a disability can apply. So we didn't expect anything, really. Next thing we got a phone call from Trish to say that we were going to the fight. And these lads do great work. They really should be supported. So we went to Manchester Thursday. Friday we had a day off, lovely, just spin around, look around to Manchester, which was very nice. No rain, not like here. So we went to Old Trafford, and Saturday morning got a tour of Old Trafford. Kim was, she wouldn't be a Manchester United fan, but delighted to take in the experience. And then Saturday night we went to the fight. We had great tickets, matchroom tickets. Eddie Hearn got them specially for us. And straight after the fight, after Sky Sports interviewed her, she spotted Kim in the crowd, which we were very close to the ring, and straight out of the ring and down to Kim. Put her arms around Kim, gave her a hug, and her mother came over and joined. And I couldn't believe it myself. I was looking around wondering, is this true? I just couldn't believe it. With 25,000 people there for the pick Kim out. Now I had a Make-A-Wish flag, and they asked me if I could at all try to let it be seen, just to show them what they're at. So we got the flag raised and seen, and we got photographs taken from the papers yesterday. The Examiner was on, and the Daily Star, and so they were thrilled to.
How do you feel about the Make-A-Wish Foundation?
Very, very strongly, actually. It's just for any child. I think children my age should leave, if they have to make a wish, leave it till the older they can get, because they'll remember it. If you're small, you're 5 or 6, you're not really going to remember it growing up. Maybe you might, I don't know. But I left mine till now, and it's probably the best thing that I left it till now to do, because I'll always remember it,
Stan.
And Trish was just telling me, the Make-A-Wish team, that they've granted 11 wishes to people in Waterford in the last, I think there's 12 months, or it could be 2 years, but 11 wishes, which is really good, so Waterford are pushing their weight big time, So we'd just like to say that it's a great achievement to get that kind of amount of wishes done,
You're probably still just buzzing.
My voice, I came home Saturday, I was crying. I was bawling. There was guards asking me was I okay, and her Katie's mother came over to me and knew who I was and was hugging. I was just in tears, but
with happiness.
My voice is still gone.
Excitement to see her fighting, and to me, like the fight seemed to be very close. I wouldn't be one of the judges now, but the girl was following her like she was leading by attacking Katie, but Katie was more professional. She was backing and jabbing, and she
fair play to the girl came
so.
over. She's Greek, but she came over and she gave it all she got. But 2 or 3 times Katie knocked her gum shield out. There was, it happened. So
an inspiration.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's good because I was in hospital there back a month ago. So it was, and I knew I was going to meet her. So that kind of kept me going for 2 weeks. So
yeah, poor Kim picked up MRSA. Just unfortunate, and she was isolated for 2 weeks in Waterford Regional Hospital. But the team out there, Dr. Daz and Juliet Mooney, top class, and they got her back right for the fight, as the fellas didn't think she was fighting, but she was able to go to it and everything. So we're off to Cork now today for her annual assessment in the cystic fibrosis. So we're looking, we hope that'll be successful.
Yeah.
Kim, the very best of luck to you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming in to us.
No problem at all.
Stan, thank you very much.
And thank you again, Damien.
It's lovely to hear that, where the Make-A-Wish Foundation, it really does make a difference.
It does.
Like, you'll have that memory for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
fabulous experience,
And the girls are great. They're really good. Like, we couldn't believe it. We never expected it, really, because there would be children that would be very sick, and most kids, they were telling us that most kids Make-A-Wish want to go to, say, Florida to the dolphins and swim with it, but nobody has ever asked us to go and see Katie Taylor fighting. So they were just amazed at that. So that was her first time being asked, so she was delighted to.
That was Katie's first Make-A-Wish, actually.
Make-A-Wish, yeah. So
Katie's first Make-A-Wish. There you go. Kim and Stan, thank you so much. Good luck today.
Thanks again, Damien. Thank you.
Cheers.
Now, there's a number of callers phoning in, quite distressed about the interview we did earlier with Shauna. The first thing is people are talking about how courageous she is, how shocked they are to hear the story. What a fantastic, articulate young lady, first-hand information. And then obviously there are people that are related to people that may have been using the services there, that may be there at present, that can be upset. What we'd recommend is that you contact the service. We are sending on the interview that we did with Shauna to the South East Community Healthcare. As we said earlier, the chief officer apologised over the weekend, and any issues raised today by Shauna, we will be alerting them to the fact that they will be raised, and Shauna, working through different sources and different people, may well be telling her own story to the Commission themselves. So there may be a lot more issues regarding this, but if you are suffering any distress from what you've heard, contact the unit yourself. Contact us if you want to, and if there are any issues, obviously contact your GP.